same way, In fact, I used to get detentions for what I now charge hundreds of dollars an hour for to do at a wedding. And nobody told me to do that. That's why I went trucking, because nobody said, oh, you like to draw on all your notebooks. You should take art class. I actually dropped out of high school at 17. I was drawing t-shirts for friends and stuff on their t-shirts, like just in marker or whatever, not realizing that you could actually create a business, and nobody encouraged that. Now I was born in the 60s, so nobody probably knew about that either, but at the same time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, this was, when I was graduating high school, I mean, this was before the internet, so you didn't have a lot of the information out there on how to even turn this into anything. And so, I was the same way. I was just drawing. I would paint murals on the weekends. I would pick up little gigs like that, and the same thing. I would airbrush T-shirts and just draw. Southern California in the 80s, I would design different band logos for a lot of the bands that were playing around locally. And so it kind of stayed like that for a long time. In fact, for several years, I actually worked in pest control, of all things, just killing bugs for a living and just doing art as a side hobby. And it wasn't until 96, I met through my wife a family member that worked at Disney. He was an animator. And he was the one that just really encouraged me and said, you can actually do this for a living. And, I just had no idea. I didn't think it was possible. And so from there, I was able to eventually get a job at DreamWorks, working on films like The Prince of Egypt and The Road to El Dorado. And I went to Disney from there and got onto Emperor's New Groove and Atlantis and Treasure Planet. And then a bunch of video games like God of War 2 and Uncharted and Gears of War. And I ended up with this animation career, that lasted over 20 years.
Yeah. I got to tell you, one of the favorite parts of the interview were you dropping off your portfolio and your pest control.
Oh, yeah.
And I got to say, that's, that is, I tell people, if you want to stand out, it doesn't always have to be in a suit. It might be the other way, right? So.
It's absolutely true. And I've got, that was the first, thing with that was, working in pest control. I was driving all around town, and so I was dropping off my portfolio at DreamWorks, and they were in this office building in the back lot of Universal Studios, and I remember driving up there in my truck, and where the guard looked out and through the guard gate and seeing my pest control truck, he just opened the gate and waved me in because they just assumed I was there to spray the place.